Paul, so we knew that the numbers would be revised higher. We didn't know they would be revised higher this much. So what drove those gains in economic growth in Japan in the second quarter?
Well, if you look into the figures, we can see that business spending improved 2%. That's a much stronger figure. And we'd kind of had an early take on that last week when we got figures from the finance ministry showing that companies had been spending more. That's a good sign. I mean, that's a sign that there's confidence in the economy at the second quarter stage. So, you know, these figures are encouraging. They're good. They speak to more resilience in Japan's recovery than we expected in the second quarter. But looking ahead to the third quarter, there's a lot of, clouds on the horizon. All these rate hikes, the continued conflict in Ukraine, this energy crisis looming in Europe. And can this momentum that we've seen in the second quarter continue in the third quarter? I think there are doubts about that, and I think we will see a slowing in 3Q.
The third quarter also reflects some of the action that we're seeing in the yen at the moment, pushing back through 144. Where are we heading on this? And we've been hearing from some in the Japanese government as well about intervention. How likely are we to see some of that in the coming days?
Well, I mean, a lot of the yen movement, of course, we must reiterate, it is mainly dollar strength. We've seen a lot of currencies throughout Asia taking a hit. What's the difference in Japan? Japan's one of the few that hasn't increased interest rates. Therefore, the hit to the Japanese yen is bigger than elsewhere. It's down 20% this year. Remember, it was at levels like 115 at the beginning of March. Now, it tried to hit 145 last night, but didn't quite get through. So it's a big question. How much weaker can it go? I think it will weaken further. We've got some key data points coming on the horizon. I would say next week's US CPI figures out Tuesday are a key factor that could accelerate or check the movements. In terms of intervention, we've got these verbal warnings from the government, but we're still a notch or two away from getting really seriously close to Japan flagging any possible intervention. I think we're not there yet. And as we saw overnight with the Treasury comments, the US still making clear that, hey, we are not okay with intervention. So that's where we stand.